What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Flimming Outdoors. Today I'm going to show you how to make my favorite deer chili recipe. So I got everything laid out in front of me. Everything is what you'll need. So you use about a pound of deer meat that I already have thawed, ready to go. 1 can of corn, 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes, 2 cans of black beans, 3 sweet potatoes that we will be roasting in the oven, 1 yellow onion, and 1 red bell pepper, and assorted spices. I will leave the recipe in the description box below. I hope you like it, but I'm going to go ahead and get started prepping everything before we start cooking, just to make everything go by a lot smoother than doing it all at the same time. So I'll see you in a second. So now that we are done chopping everything, these are all the ingredients that we really need to have chopped. So we're going to let these sit for a second. I'm going to go ahead and brown the deer meat a little bit, just so we can get that done out of the way and set that aside, because we'll add that in later in the chili, and I don't want to cook it as I'm doing other stuff, cooking at the same time. So I'm going to do that real quick, then we'll throw these sweet potatoes in the oven, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on the onions and red peppers and starting to get those sauteed, and then we'll start throwing in everything else. Let's do it. Alright, so we got all the ingredients just laid out, ready to go. Pepper, onions, sweet taters. Got the deer meat all done, letting all the grease get out of that. So now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to throw some olive oil on these sweet potatoes, throw some salt and pepper on them. We're going to roast them in the oven at 425 degrees. And we're going to do it for about 20-25 minutes, depending on how, kind of done you like that. But while they're roasting is when you're actually making the chili itself. So by the time you're ready to put them in, your chili is practically done. So we're going to go do that real quick and let this thing heat up. Let's do it. Alright, so oven's ready to go. Got the olive oil, salt and pepper on the sweet potatoes right now. So we're just going to throw them in there. Throw them on the center rack. Alright, so now we're really going to start cooking. So you're going to have a pot about this big, or bigger if you want. So first thing we're going to do is saute the onions for a little bit. I still got to go back to my handy Pinterest file. But, yep. We're going to throw some olive oil in there and saute the onions first. Alright, so the onions are looking pretty good now. Gonna add in the red peppers and let those saute and get soft. Mix those in there, get a good mix. Just gonna let those saute for a little bit. Alright, so everything's starting to look good now. Gonna add in a couple teaspoons of minced garlic in there and saute it for about a couple minutes more. Alright, so that's good to go. We're going to add in, I think it's 1.5 cups of vegetable broth. No, wrong, 2.5 cups of vegetable broth. Then we're going to add our 2 cans of tomatoes. Alright, we've got that going. If you want to make it healthier, get low sodium. I just couldn't find any. Like general brand low sodium broth. So now we add the tomatoes in. Give it a good mix. And this is all, I keep missing steps, but this is also where we actually add our corn in too. Make sure to drain it first. Booyah, there we go. Make sure to mix everything all nice and good. Man, that looks so good, doesn't it? Just looks tasty. We're not even done yet. We still got a couple more steps to go. Funny, it's literally, I got this recipe. It was originally like I think it was a vegan recipe, but then I decided, add meat to it. But this is where we're going to add in most of our spices. So you kind of just, I kind of do it to taste. It says like 1.5 tablespoons of chili powder, but I like chili powder, so I just mix in a little bit to taste, see how much I want. If I want to add more, I can add more in later. Mix that in, and cumin. I love cumin. It's one of my favorite things. So that'll probably be enough cumin, but I just love the smell of it. So we're going to let that simmer for a little bit. Quick tip, while you're letting everything simmer, let everything cook, go ahead and clean up the rest of the mess you made. Because I make a lot of messes. So that's a tip. You don't have to do it later. So just clean up whenever everything's doing that thing. Clean up all the mess you made. Okay, so the sweet potatoes are starting to look pretty done now. Gonna get them out of the oven, but I'm not gonna hold the GoPro while I'm doing it. And also, I'm sorry if you can hear the fan, if that's droning over everything. I apologize for that. Oh yeah, look at all that. If you don't like roasted sweet potatoes, then you're lying. You are lying. Roasted sweet potatoes are the best. So, we got that all going now. I think it's about ready. We put the deer meat and the black beans in. It's been simmering for about 5 minutes or so, but doesn't that just look awesome? It does. I can't cook much, but I know I can cook this. So I'm just gonna drain these black beans real quick. So there we go, mix those in. Oh yeah. You can say we're taking a trip to Flavor Town right now. I know for a fact we are. It's happening. Let's add that deer meat in there. The best part. So we got that deer meat all in there, and we're just gonna mix everything. Let that simmer for a couple minutes. Then we're gonna add our sweet potatoes in there, and then we are done. Alright, so done with that now. Now it's time to add the sweet potatoes. So now we all let it all in there. Let that simmer for a couple more minutes. And we'll be good to go. Alright everybody, it's done. Kinda got it at a boil right now. Gonna set it to the side over here. to cool for a sec. Man, doesn't that just, oh, that looks good. And it's tasty. I know it. You're gonna have to, you gotta try it. When you get a deer this year, or you already have some meat in the freezer, you gotta try it. Trust me, you won't go wrong. So, what I like to do whenever I make this, I like to put a little bit of sour cream on it and a little bit of cheese, mix it all in there. Makes it super good. That's just mine though. You can put Tabasco in it, some chipotle, still tastes pretty good. Sriracha works on it. Everything works on it. Then lastly, you eat. It is so good. I mean, I just really love this recipe. You know, the prep work's kind of, it's not too long, but it's definitely worth it. I can't speak. It's definitely worth it. Probably asking, Parker, what's your drink of choice? Well, usually it's cold beer, but today it is Shinerbach. Can't even get it any better. Cheers, y'all. So, I'm going to enjoy dinner, and I'll see you all on the next video.